Good day, Emilians. Welcome to our 2022 Emilianos Debate. The motion to be raised in this debate is requiring college degree for government officials. This forum is part of our ongoing voter education efforts to help voters make informed decisions at the upcoming election. Each team member will be given an opportunity to speak as we progress. To start this debate, may we hear the opening statement of the government side.
As the Prime Minister of the government side, I would like to set the parameters of this debate within the Philippines. Now, let me define the motion requiring college degree for government officials. College degree is a qualification given to students after completing the requirements for a specific course in college, and government officials are employees under a governmental authority, and requiring means to have something as a mandatory requirement. This motion is about mandating a college degree requirement to all government officials, and our House believes that a college degree should be a requirement for government officials for the following reasons. A government position should be professionalized by imposing academic qualifications. Academic standards are required in some governmental sectors such as the Congress and Senate. A college degree prepares and exposes a person to real-world situations in a systematic way. A government position requires the full understanding of policies and ordinances as they need to execute them well. Most entry-level jobs and careers need a college degree in order to be hired and paid, and a government position must not be exempted. To establish and support our stand, I would like to further elaborate our first argument, which states that government positions should be professionalized by imposing academic qualifications. Education serves as a stronghold for creating rules and implementing laws which are necessary for the improvement of the current state of the nation. The responsibilities of this job should not be put in the hands of people who are unaware of how to run a government or even handle their duties in a manner that would satisfy the needs of this job. Government leaders must be capable and well educated to be able to contribute to the development and welfare of the people. College enhances a person's ability to comprehend and come up with solutions during crucial situations, which are common when you are in the government sector. As they say, education is the tool in developing our abilities. These people should provide service and assistance in the best interest of the people. In order for these government leaders to be effective and competent, they must have a college degree, which is tantamount to education. If it is mandatory for an ordinary employee, such as a clerk, for example, to be well educated to do his duties well, more so it is an impediment for government officials. For our second argument, academic standards are required in some government sectors such as in the Congress and Senate. Since they are the ones who make and amend laws, it is vital that their educational background enables them to serve the public well as they create relevant and useful laws for the greater benefit of the people. They assess the country's current situation, the possible effects of mandating laws, and thoroughly analyze every outcome of the laws they make. Therefore, it is imperative that government officials in this sector should be educated and learned so that they can exercise full knowledge in the kind of work that they do, especially when it concerns the order, safety, and security of every citizen in the country. If ordinary white-collar jobs requires employees to be graduates of certain courses, it is most certainly a requirement for top leaders of the country to hold degrees. Aside from the fact that they are lawmakers, they also serve as dignitaries and representatives of our country to other countries and to worldwide organizations. So they must carry on duties beyond their roles and to which they must act intellectually and thus represent the country with honor and pride. It is not enough for a person to just have the willingness to serve and to lead, as this profession requires more than just the skill, but also the intellectual capacity which a person can acquire and practice through education. The implementation of these laws lies in their leadership and knowledge. A country needs competent leaders who can serve the best interests of the people. Therefore, they must be educated and must be degree holders. A country's rise and fall will greatly depend on the kind of leaders it has.
To rebut the statement of the government's Prime Minister, intellectual capacity and the ability to execute mandated laws does not solely rely on a person's educational background, because a college degree does not ensure a person's capability to serve and execute the stated laws. If a college degree really does help in implementing laws, executing them, then why is our country in this kind of state where educated and college graduate officials take advantage of the law? Which is why our house believes that the college degree should not be a requirement for the government officials that will be supported by these arguments. First one is requiring a college degree is anti-poor. For the second one is college degree is only a social and financial statement. For our third one is college degree is no longer a primary option for tertiary education level. For the fourth one is not only the educational background should be the basis of leadership for taking part in the government. For our last one is there is no correlation between good governance and high educational attainment. To justify our first argument, which is requiring a college degree is anti-poor, poverty is one of the major problems of the Philippines. Around 4.74 million families suffer from it. This is why thousands of people cannot afford to pursue their studies, nor enter colleges to get a degree and have the opportunities to get employment. Requiring a college degree for government officials limits an individual's chance to serve the nation and its people. This also discriminates people with different educational attainment and how society disregards the issues of poverty and its effect on the lives of people. Developing skills such as leadership, decision-making, people and resource management takes real practice and experience in the real world, not in the academy. Real problems exist in the real world. Real exposure is in the real world also. So why can people who experience things firsthand be able to apply and sit in a position that can help address the problems of society? Equal opportunities should be given regardless of one's academic background. And for our second argument, which is college degree is only a social and financial status. Having college degree is not everything to prove one's capability. It does not set the limitations nor can it measure an individual's ability to serve. There should be the willingness to serve and make a change for betterment of the country. Educational background does not measure a person's skills and experiences, nor does it make up for the dignity and good intentions of a person to lead and serve. The country needs skilled, capable, and experienced leaders with the heart to serve and not a diploma. People who have been through tough and rough times may have learned more from those who sat in schools and universities. They may have the ability to serve better and all they need is a chance to prove themselves. If a diploma will be the basis for becoming good leaders, then it is a pity that most undergraduates who has the sincerity and the capability to lead are denied such a chance. Leaders are made, not born. We create leadership, not from the degree that they may have acquired, but from the everyday challenges that they encounter. From the home to the society and the people they associate with, leaders emerged. We had such leaders in our Senate many years ago, and assuredly, it was not a college diploma that made him great. Suffice to it to say that a good heart and sincere desire and a willingness to do for others make one an exemplary leader. There's no doubt that there is much to see in those we consider someone who is for the people.
To rebut the statement of the leader of the opposition, intellectual capacity and skills to execute mandated laws are important qualities a politician must have. Without the benefit of a higher education, politicians are at a disadvantage. Your statement, why is our country in this kind of state where educated and college graduates officials take advantage of the law, is a form of hasty generalization. There are also politicians who do not have a degree but take advantage of the law. Neither group is superior. If you're imposing that requiring a college degree is anti-poor, then you're wrong. Because of Republic Act number 10931, also known as Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, This act provides free tuition and other school fees in state university and colleges, local university and colleges, and state-run technical vocational institutions. Given the existence of such a rule, claiming that college is anti-poor and only the privileged can go is really just an excuse. To add to the discussion, a college degree prepares and exposes a person to real-world situations in a systematic way. College education is necessary in preparing individuals for the real world. It trains not only the mental abilities of a person, but also how a person should interact and react with different situations. The 4 or more years spent in college are no joke. Blood, sweat, and tears were sacrificed. And those years are the most crucial period for potential government officials, as their critical thinking and analytical skills are sharpened. They will obtain specialized knowledge in the field they are in, and their capacity and potential to be an effective leader shall be put to the test. College education provides the ability to think in a systematic manner, to react in hard situations, and how to deal with people. Critical thinking is needed in order to analyze problems and provide solutions, which are basically what a government official should have. These knowledge and skills acquired through college education will affect how public servants deal with problems and obstacles encountered during their job. To expand on the argument that a government position requires the full understanding of policies and ordinances as they need to execute them well, it is important to have the ability to learn and understand all of the basic demands of a job before performing it. A government official serves the whole country, the whole nation. They are the ones who protect the welfare of the public, impose laws, and set a good example to the people they are serving. A government position isn't just for anyone with willingness to serve, which is why we should hold them to high standards at all times. Anybody can claim to be willing to commit and accept the duties and commitment that this job offers, but not everyone can serve with quality. The government's qualification of a government official should be replaced. This is the government. It serves people, makes the country a better place, and makes use of the taxes paid by Filipinos. We should not hold officials in low standards as it reflects the kind of government we have. Our house strongly stands on the belief that since we are talking about an official service to the nation and the country, we must always choose the best for the job.
To rebut the statement of the Deputy Prime Minister of Government, our side completely rejects the applied statement. Critical thinking is needed in order to analyze problems and provide solutions. And college-educated people think more critically than someone who does not have a degree. There is no solid basis that a person who graduated with a college degree already has excellent critical thinking skills, as these skills can easily be developed in our daily life. Having a college degree does not automatically make a person a good leader or a good public servant. Another statement from the government side is when they have claimed that college education is a training ground for individuals in the real world. This statement contradicts the point of their study. If it is necessary to be trained for the real world, then we shouldn't be confined with the idea that college education is needed to face the real world. Schools are not the training ground, and degrees are not a guide to a way of life. Lastly, accepting people without college degrees is not holding the standards low. It is giving people a chance to serve in a democratic country. To justify our third argument, college degree is no longer a primary option for a tertiary education level. We would like to support this argument using a statement for former spokesperson Ding Generoso of President Duterte's committee. If the requirement is simply for a college degree, the effect will be sort of limiting the pool of talents for government service to just 10% of the population. But there are a lot of people out there who have no degrees but who are competent and who excel. So they have to be part of the pool of choices for public servants. Filipinos are not always given the same opportunities because of poverty, illness, and other factors which is why we differ from our educational attainment. However, our educational background does not change what we are capable of and restrict what we can become. The need for a college degree is no longer a must, since there are programs provided by the sector of education that teaches students or prepares students for such jobs like government officials. Also, there is an alternative solution for those who aren't able to attend a college degree for the poor, which is the Executive Order number 330 issued by former President Fidel Ramos in 1996. The degree equivalent will be based on the Expanded Tertiary Education, Equivalency and Accreditation program. The program is being administered by the Commission on Higher Education as an integral part of the educational system. For our fourth argument, not only the educational background should be the basis of leadership or taking part in a government. Our statement implies that having knowledge and acquired information through books shall not be the only basis of serving and leading the country, but also the experiences and the capability to serve shall also be taken into consideration. If we limit our standards to a person's educational attainment, we would be disregarding other factors that may contribute to his service, such as his experience, skills, and ideas. A person's heart and willingness to serve the country should always be accepted as a qualification for a job in the government. Our house believes that real-life experience will be the general ability that a government official should acquire to be called a good servant to his country.
In response to the statement of the Deputy Leader of Opposition, I would like to explain the Executive Order number 330, which was vaguely explained by their side. This executive order allows a person to get a college degree based on the person's competency, skills, and prior learning knowledge, which the opposition side failed to fully analyze. This law allows people to have a college degree based on their competency exam. With this being said, the argument using the law is irrelevant, as it agreed to our stand. Also, requiring a college degree is not limiting the pool of talents for government service. Hence, it is a way of filtering out the undeserving ones, as government positions have huge responsibilities. And one of them is serving the country and its people, which is why we should not just accept the bare minimum. The task and responsibilities of a government official should not be taken lightly, because everyone does not have the capability to provide the service and commitment the job is asking for. Additionally, their statement, which states that knowledge acquired from books should not be the only basis of having the chance to serve our country, implies that they acknowledge that education is also a basis of being a public servant, which agrees with our stand. To establish our fifth argument, most career entry-level jobs and careers need a college degree to be hired and paid, and government positions should not be exempted. Each profession requires specific requirements, and these requirements and qualifications are important to analyze a person's ability to fulfill his duties and not to limit their chance of getting a job. Education is always an important requirement for any career with big responsibilities. If normal citizens are required to have a college degree to fit a level of a specific job, government officials should not be an exception. The salaries of government officials came from the tax of the citizen itself, the more reason to filter them by their knowledge. Government officials should have a college degree, as this is a professional job. Education has become a basic criterion of the public for any government position that looks out for the betterment of our society. Only an educated and knowledgeable person will be able to emphasize the power of education, and in turn will help us to exterminate societal issues and poverty. College degree is a need, not only a requirement. It is vital in providing quality service and improving the current state of our nation.
The statement, education is always an important requirement for any career with big responsibilities, made by the government side, does not have a solid basis, and it is not fully supported by an explanation. Every job is a career and it has its own big responsibilities, but the college degree is not very much required nor needed to fulfill their duties in their respective careers. Like what we have continuously said, a capability of a person to serve and commit herself into serving his fellow man is not based if we finish a certain college degree. Also, normal citizens are accepted in jobs even if they are undergraduates or high school graduates because your skills are accepted and taken into consideration. The capability to do your job well and be of a service to others is far more important than what you have finished in your college education. To support your stand, I would like to expand our last argument, which states that there is no correlation between good governance and high educational attainment. With this being said, education, much more a college degree, does not guarantee a great service from a government official. A college degree just proves a person's educational background, but it does not prove his morals and shows what kind of a service he will be giving when he sits in a position in the government. Many leaders who claim to graduate with flying colors in their chosen degrees are the same people who rob people of their chances and manipulate the law to their advantage. This argument can be supported by several articles online about the corruption, power play, and the distraction made by the people with a great educational background. One example of this is the former ousted president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos. He attended the College of the Law of the University of the Philippines and became a successful lawyer in his time. However, his educational background and college degree did not prevent him from abusing his power and burying the country from billions of debt. This is a great example of why college degree does not guarantee a governance that people will benefit from. People should be given a chance regardless of educational background because, as the government side stated themselves, the salaries of these officials came from the taxes of the people who work and use their skills to make a living and pay their taxes. No one should be discriminated against just because of their educational attainment. As long as they can conduct, participate, serve, and commit to the duties of a job requires, they should be given the same treatment and opportunities. Good governance is service to the nation, and college degree is just an educational background of a person.
This House believes that we have contributed sufficient arguments to support our claim that government officials should be required to have a college degree. With this said, I will recapitulate the main arguments of the government on why officials should be required to obtain a degree. First, education is powerful as it is a foundation in implementing laws for the development of the nation, in which a government official should have a full understanding in order to provide well-crafted laws for the betterment of the nation. Second, it prepares a potential government officials on the fundamentals and truths of society in a systematic way, as willingness to serve is not enough in order to effectively lead a whole country. Third, education is powerful because almost every career in this world at this time requires a degree, as it shows that an official has obtained specialized knowledge in a particular field, and leadership must not be an exemption but should be emphasized instead. We believe that the arguments presented by the opposition were completely rebutted and turned to an advantage to the side of the government, such as the executive number 330 that the deputy leader of the opposition stated. They failed to comprehend the essence of the law, which assesses skilled individuals who decided to enter the workforce due to poverty a chance to continue studying in the tertiary level, and finally obtaining a degree, thus proving the irrelevance of the statement. Additionally, in response to the member of the opposition statement about the ousted President Ferdinand Marcos, we strongly appeal that this statement is irrelevant, as this is a form of a hasty generalization between people who obtain a degree. With this, I hereby affirm that the government has provided sufficient information on why government officials should be required to have a college degree, which is why the government should win this debate.
To summarize the main points we have provided, first, college degree will be a hindrance to people with zero chance of acquiring college degree because of the evident poverty in the country who has the possibility to serve and lead the country to betterment. And even though there is an assistant that provides free education in state universities, it is not enough to sustain the needs of people to finish a college degree while suffering with poverty. Second, we have proved that experience and skills are acknowledged with the Executive Order number 330, supporting our statement that says experience and skills should be accepted as a viable requirement for government officials. Third, high educational attainment does not contribute to the development of the country, as there are several records of officials with college degree but is involved with political affairs that heavily affects their countrymen. Our stand provided a strong example of a politician with a college degree but still failed to fulfill his duties as a true public servant, which is the government side has failed to address. We believe that our side has been firm with our stand and provided real-life basis and evidence to support our claim that a college degree should not be the basis of serving in the government. College degree is not the only key to the future of the country and will never be. Our House has strongly proved why a college degree should not be a requirement for government officials and why the possibilities of having a better country must not be narrowed down by educational titles. With all the statements and arguments provided by our House, we believe that we have sufficiently supported our stand, which is why the opposition side should win this debate.
There we have it. Thank you very much, speakers. Let us wait for Mr. Garcia's final scoring for this debate. Once again, thank you.